Okay, we are live. All right, happy Sunday. It is now officially 7 p.m. I'm so glad you guys are on here and you were able to join us. And this is so great. So there's Miss Amy. How are you? Yay, yay, yay. Awesome. Okay. So I'm so glad that you guys are on. I'm so proud of you for making it a priority. And trust me, I understand what it's like to make this a priority on a Sunday, especially when it's so beautiful here in the Kansas City area. I know that, it was church, it was ball games. I just got done making dinner and running around and everything. I'm like, oh, so just like literally just a few minutes ago, my hair was like, I had a hat on and my hair was all up and my husband's like, are you gonna wear that hat? I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't do that, huh? So, okay, this is as good as it's gonna get. You know what? Here's what I know for sure. I know that those of you who make this a priority, I know that you're gonna be blessed. Oh, okay, there we go. I know that you're gonna be blessed. I know that just making your business a priority makes a big difference. I mean, that's the only way you can see results, right? Is when you make your business a priority. And the only person that can make your business a priority is you. As much as I want you to, as much as your director wants you to, they can't do it for you. So anyway, welcome. Okay, so I'm going to jump right in and I'm going to tell you that I only heard from 2 people today. And I know that there's more of you, but you have held at least 2 parties or more this week. And so I want to give a shout out to Marla. Marla Nee, say woo woo, because Marla, we can see you. Yay, Marla! Marla held 2 parties this week and she is in the Nicole Castleman unit. And then Chelsea Ricewig, and I know Chelsea is with her in-laws right now, but Chelsea is in Ashley Clark's unit and she too held 2 parties this week. And here's what I know. I know that both of these women are working hard and they're moving mountains to get into DIQ on September 1st. So I know that you are wise women to be doing the parties and getting in front of the people so that you can get the yeses. Okay, so I'm going to jump right in because I know this 30 minutes goes by really fast. And you guys know we are done at 7:30. You get a little bit of time there to make sure that you're following up and you're continuing to book people to get on the 8 p.m. marketing Zoom. So I'm going to jump right in. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about the perfect party. Okay, which is kind of funny because basically you're going to find out real quickly there is no such thing as the perfect party. And if you keep waiting to have the perfect party, or you keep waiting to kind of figure everything out and have all your systems in place to have the perfect party, you'll never get going. We learn so much in the process. What I love about this business is that you get to earn while you learn, and you are going to get on the bike and over and over and over. And there's going to be times that you stumble. There's going to be times that you fall off the bike. But the bottom line is you are going to get on that bike. Okay, so we talked about the last couple of weeks, we talked about the importance of parties. Remember what I equated parties to? Parties are like push-ups. You get the biggest bang for your buck whenever you're doing the parties because you are in front of the people. You're getting the sales. You're getting, you're meeting people you wouldn't normally meet. All that. There's so much that goes into a party. Do we ever give up on the facials or the double facials? Of course not. Many times the facials will lead us to the parties. And so facials are great. Just because we're focused on parties doesn't mean we're not focused on facials. That's oftentimes when you'll connect with people. Maybe you get, like I said, you could get your next hostess from a facial. You could get your next team member from a facial. But I also believe that we're not doing enough parties, and it simply needs to be a focus. And so my first question is, and we've given scripts and we've given hostess programs and everything, but are you asking? Are you asking for the party? And are you asking enough? And are you following up enough? Last week I gave the example of when I was at Autumn's kickoff party, and she did such a great job at the one-on-one closing of booking that follow-up appointment, and every single person was like, well, I don't know what my friends' schedules are, so let me get back to you. And real quickly, I was able to intervene and say, okay, here's how we're going to handle that. Let's just go ahead and find a date that works for the two of you, and then you have a date to give your friends. If you don't have a date to give your friends, you're going to get 12 different answers. So let's just get a date and get that booked. We can always move the date. So are you asking enough? Okay, so we're going to assume that you have your parties. You have your parties booked. And like I had said at the very beginning of the month, if you want to go into DIQ on September 1st and you are ready to make that happen, first of all, it doesn't just happen. It doesn't just happen on its own. It must be very, very, very on purpose. Okay, you don't just stumble into DIQ. It's not just like one day you're like, oh, looky there, I have 10 active. No, it has to be very intentional. And so I do have a list of women that are working hard on DIQ September 1st. Do you want to be on that list? Or maybe you say, I want to be on the list for October 1st. Great, let's get you in motion for that. Whatever it is. If you have 0 team members today, you are only 10 parties away from DIQ. If you have 3 active today, you are only 7 parties away from DIQ. But there is a catch to that number. Let me tell you what that catch is. That catch is fast is easy, slow is hard. Okay? Fast is easy. And here's what I mean by that. If you take 6 years to hold those 10 parties, then guess what? Like, you're going to get your team members from those parties, but they might fall off. They might go inactive. They might decide they don't want to do Mary Kay. And so you have to keep going over and over and keep building and replacing those people over and over. But if you just say, you know what? I'm going to do 10 parties between now and the end of the month, or maybe between now and the end of October. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it now. Then you will get your 10 active and you will be ready to submit DIQ. Okay, so fast is easy. I want you to remember that. Okay, so we're going to, like I said, we're going to pretend that you've got your party, you've got it booked, and you are in the process of coaching. We talked about that last week a little bit on the coaching. And so I'm going to take that a little bit further and talk to you about what that's going to look like, feel like, sound like, all that, and even the guts of the party. Okay, remember, we're talking about the perfect party here, which we've already decided there is no such thing. Okay, so when you are coaching a party, you are getting the guest list. You guys, the guest list is gold in your hands because it is like having a list of referrals, because not everybody on that guest list is going to be able to come. We know that, usually like 10%. And so that's why you really want to coach her and make sure that she knows, to invite at least 25 people. You want to get 5 people there, you want to invite about 25 people. Well, she gives you a list of 25 people. You have all those names and numbers to book. Okay, so you get excited about that. So getting the guest list and coaching the hostess, meaning you're talking to her, you're encouraging her, you're getting her excited. I have a hostess next week and I was just messaging her. She moved the party from her house to her office. And I was like, great. We bumped up the time. I was like, great, that's exciting. Tell me, let's talk about this guest list. Who's going to be there? What do you still want to do makeovers? We're just figuring this whole thing out together. And I'm being flexible with her because that's what we do. We want this to be fun. Right? So coaching the hostess and then pre-profiling. Now, forgive me for those of you who are seasoned and you've done a gazillion parties and you know all about this. So I am going to do some basic training here, but I know we have enough new people that are listening that it's going to be valuable. So pre-profiling is when you call every person on that guest list, and I'm going to use our beautiful new, brand new red jacket, Amy Spry, who's on tonight. Amy's going to be my hostess. So I'm going to say, hi, Michelle, this is Jill with Mary Kay. I'm going to be the consultant that's going to be doing Amy Spry's party this Thursday, and I know she's invited you, and I'm so excited. And I'm just checking in to see if you plan on attending that party this Thursday. So you wait for her answer. Assuming that you got her live, you wait for her answer. And if she says, gosh, I don't know, or no, I'm not available, or whatever, then that's your opportunity. If she is not planning to attend the party, that's your opportunity to book her for another time. So I would say, oh gosh, I'm so sorry you're not able to make it. Have you ever tried Mary Kay before? Do you have a Mary Kay consultant? If she says no, or it's been a long time or whatever, then I'm going to say, well, I would love to pamper you with a makeover. And we have a brand new peel out right now, and we have new fall colors. Would you like to get together? And you're welcome to have some friends as well. I can come to you, or you can come to me, and we can do a little pamper. You can try some stuff. Would you like to do that this coming week or next week or whatever? So it's your opportunity to be able to book her. If she says, yes, I am able to come, and you say, great, I just have a couple of quick questions for you. Tell me about your skin. Are you combo to oily or normal to dry? So that's your first question, so you know how to fill her tray. Are you combo to oily or normal to dry? And then you can walk her through that, because sometimes people are like, I don't know. And if they don't know, they're normal, because you know if you're dry and you know if you're oily. So if they don't know, they're normal. And then you can ask them, is there something that you would like to learn at your makeover? You could ask her that, or you can even say, what kind of foundation would you like? I love to ask what foundation they would like to try, because I demo both liquid and I demo mineral powder. But you might just have one kind in your starter kit that you want to demo. So you could just go with that and say, is there anything that you want to learn at the makeover party on Thursday? And so just create some dialogue with her. You're connecting with her. And the more you connect with her ahead of time, the more likely she is to attend that party. So, and that's it. That's all you do. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to meet you in person, or whatever. You could even go Facebook stalk her and friend her ahead of time. Okay, so if you do not reach her live, then you can leave a message and say, hey, Michelle, this is Jill with Mary Kay. I'm going to be the consultant that's doing Amy Spry's Mary Kay party this Thursday, and I'm so excited to meet you. I just wanted to check in with you and see if you plan to be there. And if you are able to be there on Thursday, I just have 2 quick questions about your skin type and what you would like to learn at that party. So if you want to give me a buzz back or even text me back, that would be great. I'm going to go ahead and shoot you a text just so you have my number handy. That's it. And then you text her and say, hey, just left you a message. Just want to touch base with you about the party this Thursday to see if you're able to attend and to ask you a couple quick questions. So it is so simple. So that is pre-profiling. And there is gold right there, right in that guest list. Okay. So when you're coaching your hostess, you have already been in touch with her a lot. You've been in touch with her to talk about, what free products she's going to get. Even get her thinking about what she wants to get in her free products or her discounted products, things like that. Get her making her wish list. Get her all excited about that so she is motivated to get more people there. Or if your hostess program happens to involve outside orders, then you're getting her excited to get those outside orders, and you're even helping her with that. So here's the other thing. You want to be coaching her on what it's going to look like when you actually arrive for the party. So here's what I would say. I would say, okay, Amy, so I am going to come. Let's say her party's at 7. I'm going to arrive at 6:30. Is that going to work for you? I always ask for about 30 minutes for setup time. So making sure that that's working for her and she's not like, oh gosh, I'm not even home from work then, or, things are crazy, whatever. Then I'll say, okay, how about 6:45? Is that better? I can, streamline what I'm doing. So I definitely decide ahead of time. I let her know what time I plan to show up. And then I say, tell me about what kind of snacks and drinks that you would like to offer at your party. And so this is another part of my coaching with her. I always want to tell the hostess, here's what I think works best. When people arrive, you're welcome to offer them something to drink, but let's hold the food until the end. Because if we bring out the food at the beginning, then what I've seen, what I've experienced firsthand many times, is that people start eating and then it takes forever to get started with the party. But if you get them down, sitting down right away and get them going right away, and then there's plenty of time when you're done and it's perfect, the flow is perfect whenever they start eating at the end. So you kind of coach her, and there's a lot of times they're like, oh, okay, they were going to have food out there right at the beginning. So again, it's part of you coaching her. Okay, so then that's pretty much it. Then you just plan to arrive. So here we go. We're going to arrive now. Are you ready? We're going to arrive at our perfect party. Okay. So when you arrive, you want to get busy right away. You want to walk in, have your starter kit bag. I always come in with just two things: my roll-up bag that has everything I'm using to demo, and my starter kit bag that is packed full of everything. And I look around right away, and I'm like, okay, is this the table we're going to use? Oftentimes they will guide you to the table, but you guys, I've shown up in houses that they don't have a table. Okay, they have a couch, or we're going to sit around on the floor. Again, learn to be flexible. So usually there's a table and we say, okay, this is what we're going to do. And I start setting up right away, because you want to be as ready as you can by the time those people walk in the door. So I'm setting up everything, and I set up a mirror tray. And I will say, on the mirrors, I love having this little tray insert. Now, you guys can make these on Mary Kay In Touch, and you can put on there whatever. I'm going to hold this up really close so you guys can see. Whatever you want. I demo a lot, okay? Probably too much, but it's just what I love to do. And so you might just say cleanser, day solution, moisturizer, foundation. I mean, yours could be so simple, and the more simple it is, the faster you will go, and the more focused on the skincare they will be. But what I love about this is it's easy for them when you say, go ahead and dip into your cleanser. You can say in number 1 or number 2, but it says right there what cleanser is, so that it guides them a little bit more. So if you don't have those figured out and printed off, then you can make those. Not a necessity, just kind of a nice thing. Okay, so I have that all ready to go. I have their catalog out there with their profile, a sales ticket, a pen, my business card. I've got my 2 cotton balls out there. I like to demo brush collections, but you may just have the sponge tip applicators is totally great. If you have at least one brush set collection that your hostess can use, I think that's a great way to sell them, because she can be like, oh, my brushes are awesome. Good luck with those sponge tip applicators. So have them with that. Make sure that you have plenty of cotton balls always, because you just never know when somebody's got a lot of mascara they need to take off, or they need to use those for applying their cheek color. Okay, so you are set up, and I squirt everything in the tray that I can. So if I have done my job and I've pre-profiled, then what I'll do is I will go ahead and write the name of the guest on the profile sheet. So I'll write, Ashley Claiborne right here across the profile, and I'll put it right here, and I'll fill her tray with what she told me her skin type was. So it's ready to go. And it just helps you that much more, again, streamline things. So it's all set up, ready to go, and people are starting to arrive. And so here's what you want to do. This is the reason why you want to be set up ahead of time, is so that you can connect with those guests. I told you at the very beginning of this month, you have one thing to focus on at these parties, and that one thing is having fun. You have fun. When you have fun, you will connect with those guests, and they won't even care if they're putting satin lips on their eyes. They're having fun. You're having fun. They're going to connect with you. You're going to connect with them, and they are going to want to be your customer. They're going to want to be your hostess. But if you have everything perfect, but they're not having fun, you may or may not get them as a customer or a future booking, okay? They want to have fun. Remember, it's a party, okay? So when they start arriving, you start introducing yourself. Don't be the person that's off in the corner. Step up to the plate, because here's another thing I've learned about hostesses. They're not always great at saying, hey, this is my friend Ashley. Jill, this is Ashley. Ashley, this is Jill. They're not always good at that. And so many times I just go right up there and I'm like, hi, I'm Jill. I'm the Mary Kay consultant. And she'll go, hi, I'm Ashley. I'm like, oh, Ashley, it's so great to meet you in person. I have you right over here. So here's what we do. We guide them. We guide them because they don't know what to do or where to go. I will tell you this. They will just wander around, and they'll just kind of mill, and they'll stand off to the side, and they'll talk to their hostess and things like that, and until you say, sit here or sit down. So that's important, is that you kind of guide them on where to sit. And then again, you can tell your hostess, oh yeah, you're serving lemonade or whatever. Go ahead and get them a glass of lemonade. Sometimes I even say, can we get you something to drink? But right when I seat her, that's when I'm doing a couple of different things. Number one, I'm matching her on her foundation. Okay, so that's the first thing. So I get that done, and I get it squirted in her tray, or if it's the mineral powder, I get that sprinkled in her tray, whatever it is. And then I guide her to be filling out her customer profile. Because that's another thing. If you don't tell them to fill it out, they don't know. I can't tell you how many parties I've gotten to the end of the party and I'm like, oh, I forgot to have you guys fill this out. So it's very, very important that you have that. Some of you are nodding. Hasn't just happened to me, I'm sure. So you get them sat. You can even ask them questions. Just try to get to know them, So tell me, Ashley, what do you do again? How do you know Amy, our hostess? Just get to know them. And like I mentioned on a Voxer message a couple of weeks ago, ask questions. If you want to connect with people, ask questions. People love to talk about themselves, and they will feel like they know you and you know them when you are pulling information out of them. Okay, so then the next person comes in, and maybe two come in at the same time. Again, you are connecting, you're meeting. Hi, I'm Jill. I'm Jill. Welcome to Amy's party. Come on in. Okay, what's your name? And you're, oh, I have you over here. Awesome. So glad to meet you. Go ahead and have a seat. Sometimes you have to sit them down if they're just wandering around. Set them down, match them on their foundation, get them going with their profile. Okay, so let's talk about when you have that person or two that the hostess is like, you know what? I have two more girls that are coming, but they're going to be late. What do you do about that? It's good to have a game plan because it happens, right? Those of you who know exactly what I'm talking about, it happens. Almost every party, it happens. So here's the thing. You must honor the time of the people that are there. Do not wait and do not hold your party for anyone. You can always get somebody caught up. But again, learn from my mistakes. I've been like, okay, we'll wait for her. And then we're waiting. We think it's 10 minutes. We think she's on her way. She evidently went a different direction because she's still not here an hour later. So just get started. And like I said, you can always get somebody caught up. Okay, so that's kind of a side note there. Okay. Then once you're connecting, you're talking, you're asking questions, you're already laughing with these people, it is your job to be in control of this party, the start and the stop time of this party. The parts that take the longest are getting everybody together and matching foundation and sat, and then afterwards. The part that should be the fastest is the actual application of the product. Okay, but before we get to the product, let's talk about how you are going to open. What I love to do, this helps me remember people's names. And when you can remember their names and remember something about them, they, again, feel like you know them, you care about them, they know you. There's that connection, that very important connection. So what I like to do is say, okay, ladies, we're going to go ahead and get started tonight. Thank you so much, Amy, for being our hostess. I'm so grateful. Amy's a great customer of mine, a great friend of mine. She loves the product, and I'm so grateful that you had us here. And Amy's going to be getting some awesome hostess credits tonight, and you guys can too. It's open to all of you. Okay, so let's go around real quickly, and I want everybody to say your name and what you do for a living, and your favorite Mary Kay product, and I always just say if you have one, and one sweet thing about our hostess, or some super fun thing about our hostess, or whatever. Because what this does is this sets the stage. Let me tell you, it might just change the whole mood of the whole night. It just gets everybody like, oh, we're just, this is just so precious. This is so fun. And so, but what it does is, first of all, if you're like, okay, I know that I met y'all, and I know that y'all told me your names, but I can't for the life of me remember any of you, then it gives you another opportunity to get to know their name. And we remember things. This is a human thing here. We remember things by association. And so if you can say, if you can hear her say, like, I'm Julie and I'm a mail carrier, or I'm Tiffany and I'm a nurse, then you're going to be able to connect their name with what they do for a living. Or I'm Rebecca and I'm a stay-at-home mom. Those things will help you remember them. And then whenever they say their favorite Mary Kay product, like if they have one, they say, oh my gosh, I love the satin lips, or I love the eye makeup remover. Then when you get to that product, you can say, this is the one that Michelle loves so much, and let her take over and start selling it for you. So I go around real quickly and I do that. So, and I always have to remind them, it's your name, your what you do for a living, your favorite Mary Kay product, and one super sweet thing about our hostess. And then when it gets to our hostess, I'm like, okay, Amy, it's your turn. Like, tell us what your favorite product is. And again, thank you so much. And that is a great time to reiterate what she's getting for free. So Amy tonight is going to be getting up to $100 in free product. And so if you're like her and you're like me and free fits into your budget, like always, then, and you find some things that you really want, then we can find a date that would work for you, and I'll come over and pamper you, and you too can earn some free products. Okay, so then you let her take over. Now, then you do your introduction. And I think you do a real quick intro, but this is the time to talk about why wash your face. Why wash your face with Mary Kay? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go back and listen to the very first call that we did at the beginning of the month, our area-wide call. And of course, all that information is always at davisarea.com. Go under the phone numbers and the playback number is there. But the why wash your face with Mary Kay, and we've put the link on our Facebook page and everything. So I know that you guys have all this information just in case anybody missed it. But it's powerful. I'm here to tell you, when you tell them this is what you're doing and this is who you're supporting when you choose to wash your face with Mary Kay, that will make an impact. And it will make an impact not only that night, but when they run out of their cleanser that they purchased from you, or their mascara, or whatever, it will make an impact. So if you haven't started working that into your parties and even your makeovers, then please start, because it is powerful. Okay, so you do that part, and then you get started with the product. And like I said, this part is the fastest part. It's time to kick it in high gear. And this is where I'm gonna have to wrap it up because we're running out of time. But we're just working our way through this, right? So you are gonna buzz through your skincare. So whether you start with eye makeup remover, you start with satin, you just do the Miracle Cell, whatever it is you do, this whole time, even through makeup, should only take 20 to 30 minutes. And the faster you can do it, the faster you can start selling. And if it's taking you a long time to get through this, then you've got to figure out what to cut out or how to speed up. My recommendation is to stay about a half a step in front of everybody. So if you're like, okay, here's our eye makeup remover, this is what it looks like, this is what it does, shake it up, pass it around, and while they're passing around, you're moving on to the next thing. Okay, this is our cleanser, and those of you go ahead and dip into your cleanser, and this is what it's doing, and this is blah, and you're going. Because if you're taking forever to do the party, then number one, they're gonna think that this regimen takes way too long. I would never take the time to do this. And number two, you're cutting into the time where you're taking their orders and booking their follow-up appointments. I've told this story before, but I was a new mommy when I went to a different direct selling company's party one time. And I was excited to go. I was excited to get out of the house, and I had a newborn at home. But this consultant proceeded to go through every product in the catalog. And I already owned like half of the products. And so by the time she was finally done, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to get home to feed the baby. And by the time she was done, I was running out the door. And I did not, I came to purchase that night. And I did not purchase because I had to get home or I was going to explode. I had to get home and feed the baby. And so that is why you really want to make sure that you are being effective and efficient, and make sure that you are getting through the process. Okay, so we're not going to have any more time. I'm so sorry to do the closing, but I will tell you on the next week's Zoom, we're going to talk about the closing and those 4 questions and getting the sale and getting the follow-up and continuing that connection. And must make sure that you have printed this, create a roll-up, or you have a close sheet of some kind. We do have this one on our Davis Area website, Davis Area under Resources tab, and then click on the Davis Area Systems. It's a rectangular box there. It'll pop up. It'll give you this. Actually, there's a couple of different ones on there. And then I always have a picture of the starter kit on the other side because it's a vital time to talk to them about that they can become a consultant at this time as well. So the last thing I want to leave you with is, are you praying about your business? And are you specifically praying about the kind of women that you want as your hostesses and on your team? I was literally last week in my quiet time, and I was just reflecting and thanking the Lord for all of his blessings. And we've just had this great group, this wave of new consultants in my unit. They're wonderful. They're wonderful. And they've been such a blessing to our seasoned consultants and, everything. It's just been so much fun. And so I was thanking the Lord for that. And he reminded me, this is an answer to prayer. This is who you've prayed for. And so I just want to remind you, be specific, be bold, and ask daily. Ask him to bring you those super fun, energy-giving women who love the product, who are going to love you, who are going to connect. They're sharp. They're whatever you want, whatever adjectives you want, whoever you want on your team and whoever you want as your hostesses, ask him. We have not because we ask not. So ask him every day and believe that he is going to give them to you. All right, ladies, thank you so much for taking the time to be on. Now is your opportunity to be booking the people to be on that Zoom call in just 30 minutes. It will be worth your time and theirs. Have a great night, Pacesetters.